So, I was browsing through my art station the other day when something dawned upon me. It was lacking something. Well, other than general quality. I mean, just look at all this amazing, amazing work I've done. No, it was missing something. Something I've never done in 3D yet. A fucking fish. Now, I've drawn some before, but sculpting them, never. It goes against my strict moral principle to only make subpar furry gutter tier slop. And when I looked around at all my peers, I don't know any of these people, but they make things better than me, and we can't have that. And if I want to be able to get the job at King Elton LLC, then I'm going to have to upgrade my portfolio. You know, I've never looked over here in the studio section of the jobs. Infinity Ward. Fuck no. Must be willing to complete an art test if requested to. What is an art test? Okay, screw it. All these options suck. And if I want more, I need a piece to really prove myself. What's popular right now? Nah, whatever, fuck it. I'll just sculpt that fish twink from pressure and call it a day. All the popular people say to get reference whenever sculpting, so let's do that. God fucking damn it, that's what I get for trying to be funny. Okay, this will work. Don't mind if I do. Oh damn, this one looks good. Alright, that's all the reference I need. This should really, really help. Might as well put on some music while I do this. Dear God, what is that? I need something calming, relaxing. Perfect. I start this sculpt by sacrificing the cube to the Blender gods for good luck. Most sculpts start the same. You add basic primitive shapes to make a block out. As you can see, I'm off to a roaring start. Maybe it's just me being nervous about how amazing this is going to look once it's done. This first blockout part usually makes or breaks a project for me depending on how it goes, so it's very important I get this part right. I try to keep my sculpting as basic as possible since I'm still blocking out. There's no need to add extra detail at the moment. Right now I'm just trying to get the basic main shapes. The hardest part about sculpting organic things is that they always look really uncanny until about 60% of the way through. So you're just gonna have to trust the process on this like I did. Trust me, it gets better, I promise. This is about where I add Sebastian's signature third eye. I'm still trying to keep it simple at the moment though, so nothing too fancy. The more things you add at the beginning of a sculpt, the easier it's going to be to get the main shapes and proportions right. Well, I mean, if you were good. I changed this up a lot, like, throughout the entire sculpt, all the way to the end. But it's always good to trust the process because you'll never know what your sculpt is going to become. I'm glad I didn't give up on this one because there were definitely some annoying parts on this. Right now I'm just adding some hair to get a basic feel of the head shape because right now he kind of looks like an egg. I add a couple loose strands at the front to break up the symmetry a bit too. After that, I start sculpting the body a little bit. I don't know why I ended up adding gills to it, because you're never going to see it. Sebastian wears clothes, but I don't know. I get carried away. Then I start beefing up that meaty ass tail he has, and I add some teeth to his mouth. I end up ditching this big dopey grin he has later. You'll find out why. And lastly, for the main blockout part, I add some very basic arms. And just like that, the main blackout is done. For a blackout, I really end up changing like 90% of this, but it'll do. Now it's time to get to the fun part, sculpting. I make a couple basic hand blockouts. My least favorite part. God, I hate making hands. I think it's just an artist thing.
It's hard to have strength when there's nothing to eat. And it's hard to eat when you don't have the teeth. And how when you lose the one thing you love, there's nothing below.
I really underestimated how many accessories Sebastian has. As much as I like looking at a new dude, this guy needs some clothes, so that's gonna be next. The trick to having a good sculpt is to bounce back between different parts of it often, or you'll kind of get tunnel visioned. So that's why you kind of see me jumping between the head, the body, the shirt very often. Next, I try to make that little scarf neck thing he has, but it gives me some trouble. Once I'm finally satisfied with it though, I go on to this like shirt Tupperware thing. I don't know half of the things this dude's wearing, but we'll get there eventually. Now I start sculpting some folds in the cloth. This was probably my favorite part of the project, maybe behind lighting. You can really just sit back and relax and follow the flow of the clothes. Some people find this part tedious, but I actually find it kind of relaxing. It adds a decent amount of detail to the piece and keeps the clothes at least from being too cartoony. Once I'm satisfied with the clothes, it's time for the accessories. I told you there was a lot. Now it's just time to really lock in and work on everything at once.
Back of the crowd, baby, I couldn't see, but at least it was loud. At least it was loud. And I've been going through changes. I've been going through changes. I've been going through changes.
Well, the sculpting and texturing is pretty much done. For now, at least. I end up coming back to it at the end. But for now, it's time to light. Like I said, lighting is my favorite part of almost any project. I know there's a lot of people out there who like to get into color theory and all the super intricate details of it, but I just kind of fuck around until it looks good. All I have to do is get the lights where I want them, get the camera set up, and we should be good. And after about 4 to 5 hours of work, this is what we got. I decided to post it on social media before I went to bed last night, such as Reddit.
Reddit is awesome. It's an amazing platform that works off the.
Some people were saying that it looked off or even uncanny, but that they still liked it, which confused me because I had no idea what they were talking about. But I've never been one to shy away from some constructive criticism, so I asked one of them what they meant. This guy, YK Sam, was saying that his eyes were too big and that he was missing his third eye, which is weird because I literally gave him his third eye. And he's saying that he has a neutral expression, apparently, in the game. Does he not smile? I'm sorry, I've only ever played this game like 2 times and I died at like door 30. I went back to my project file, a bit disappointed. I didn't think that people were actually going to find it weird looking. I thought it looked fine. But the more I looked at the face, I kind of realized that this dude was right. It did look a bit too cartoony for a edgy fish man. So I decided to take his criticism and put it to the test. So I got straight to work, lowering the eyes, closing up his big ass mouth, and making his third eye more visible. And the more I did, the more I realized how much better it was starting to look. And maybe this person I already forgot the name of was onto something, so I kept on going. And the more I improved the face and other parts of the body, the more proud I was becoming. It felt so good to see that clear path to the finish line finally. Now the only thing I had to do was make it there.
We're coming down, coming down, coming down. Beijing down. We're coming down, coming down. Beijing.
And there we go. It's finally done. I think the criticism from that one dude really helped out, and I'm super glad that I took it into consideration because the final piece looked so much better because of it. I learned a lot doing this project, especially about how to take criticism and use it for good in your projects. So thank you, YK Sam, whoever you are. You get 50% royalties on this, I guess. So that brings us to the end. I hope you enjoyed watching. I don't really do these recorded projects often. I usually just do them in my own free time and post them quietly. But this was really fun. I like doing this. I might do it more depending on how this one turns out. But regardless, it was a fun little exercise for video editing. Well, that's all. Subscribe and all the other things you've heard millions of times before. I'm not good at farewells, but I know someone who is.
Get